Hello, I'm Brad Phillips. I'm the owner of Puppy Steps Training, and today we're going to be doing Sheila's training demonstration. So she's hanging out behind me in the crate, ready to get out and show off all of her new skills and behaviors. We're very excited to send her to you. She's just a super fun dog. She's got plenty of energy, which has made training just a lot of fun because she's very driven. So I think you guys are going to have a blast with her. I think she's going to be a great dog. Biggest thing with her is just making sure that she follows through and she listens to what you're asking her to do, because sometimes she gets a little overexcited and she almost wants to train herself, so she'll start offering behaviors. So it's important to help her understand what you're asking for and then follow through and make sure that she always ends on that correct behavior and that she always does the correct behavior. So one, if you haven't watched the first video, go back and do it. It just says, introduction and training demonstration information. So go and watch that. That talks about the follow through, the consistency, and the management, which you're going to see us doing with her as we get her out and start working with her and showing off her behaviors. So the way this is going to go, we're going to start with her manners, then we'll do her obedience commands. At that point, we'll adjust the camera so that we can show you her leash work. So let's dive right into her manners. The first manner we are going to talk about is her gates and her doorways. So anytime Sheila comes out of the crate, she goes through a closed door or any gates in the yard, I expect her to hold an automatic stay. She doesn't need to be sitting, laying down. I really don't care what position she's in, but she needs to show that one, she's under control, and two, she's paying attention to you, waiting for you to release her. Now, in your home, you can create this with any threshold that you would like. For a puppy, bare minimum, I would do any exterior doors. But anything that stays open regularly, I don't expect them to understand. So that's why right now, it's any closed door, any door that we're going through together. However, like I said, a little consistency, you can do this with any threshold in your home. But keep it up with exterior doors as well as her crate. So once again, this is an automatic behavior. I don't need to tell her to stay or wait or anything like that. I can just open this door and I expect her to pause and wait for me to release her. I am also going to put a leash on her just so I can kind of keep her within this area that we can see on the camera. And we're going to turn around and immediately go outside just so I can show you this house door as well. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So we'll clip this leash on and show you the exterior door. Now, if she tried to come out before I was ready, I can just step into her, or I might even just close this door. And I might just, something like that. Okay, good girl. Just to show her that she's not allowed to come running out. Oh, are we gonna act like a fish today? Okay, so house door. You'll notice, once again, I don't care whether she sits or lays down. She does anyway. But she's paying attention to me. She's showing that she's in control. If she were to take off running out, I do have this leash to correct her, or I can lift my leg and block her. Okay, good girl. Oh, okay, good girl. Good job hitting the bells. So same expectation coming back inside. She doesn't have to sit. She's just showing that she's in control, waiting for me. Okay, good girl. And then she's able to come back in. Good girl. So that is my expectation with any door that we go through together or I'm letting her out of. Sheila. So the next one, or the next manner I'm going to show you, is her greeting. So anytime I call her over, I expect her to sit to get my attention. This is a replacement behavior for jumping, so it gives her something to do, helps her be calm and in control. So if I call her, Sheila, come here. Good girl. Once she sits, okay, good girl. Now for us here, we're already to a point where I'm weaning off treats for this behavior. Once again, once she sits, then she just gets my attention, which is what she wants a lot of the time. However, over the next few days at your home, you need to reinforce this behavior as we're making sure that this transitions over and that she creates the same expectations with you as she does with me. So the way that we're going to do that, one, anytime that she approaches you and offers this greeting, if she sits, make sure that you pay attention to her, whether you're just praising her, telling her that she's a good girl, or giving her a treat if you have it on hand. You are also going to do this little exercise I'm going to show you about 3 or 4 times a day over the next 3 to 4 days. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your treats, take a leash, and we're just gonna call her name, take a few steps back, wait for her to sit, tell her okay, give her a treat, and then repeat it. I'll do this about 3 times, and on the 3rd one I'll pet her. So it's just really quick, really simple, and it just looks like this. Sheila, back up. Okay, good girl. Sheila. She sits. Okay, good girl. Sheila. Okay, good girl, good girl. So everybody that's gonna have regular interactions with Sheila, so everybody in your family, should do this exercise. We wanna make sure that Sheila understands that she needs to have respect. She needs to respect you and everyone in your family. So this is a really simple way to start building those expectations. Now, if she jumps up at any time during this, so if I called her, Sheila, and she jumped right here, I would step into her and tell her no, off. Bring my knee up. Once she sits, I'll tell her good girl, give her that treat. If she tries to jump up while I'm giving her the treat, I'll take that away and say no, or gently. So I expect her to be very gentle when she takes those treats. So gently has kind of 2 parts to it. 1, she has to keep all 4 paws on the ground, and 2, she needs to be soft taking it. In general, I always give Sheila the treat in the palm of my hand, and then I cover it with my thumb. So that way, if she is being too harsh, I can kind of block her with my thumb. She doesn't get to take it with her teeth, she needs to take it with her tongue. We usually do not give her treats between like the thumb and forefinger, because that's just asking her to bite your fingers. But we have worked on this to where I can tell her, Sheila, gently, and I expect her to be very, very soft. That was a crumb, sister. The whole treat's right here. Good girl. But if she jumps up, no, I stand straight up, wait for her to show she's in control. So I don't put up with jumping at all. If she tries to jump up on me, no, off, bring that knee up. If you have a hold of the leash and she tries to jump on somebody else, no, off, I'll pop that leash and I'll get some distance. So this actually goes back to that greeting. I don't expect her to have the same type of respect for strangers as she does for me. So 1, I don't expect her to approach new people and just immediately sit. While that's a good behavior to reinforce and to build up to, I also don't want her thinking that every new person is exciting and is going to interact with her. So if we are on a walk, if we are on a leash, and somebody approaches and says, oh my gosh, your dog is so cute, can I pet her? 1, I typically say no. Like 90% of the time, I am saying, no, she's in training, and I'll have her sit and interact with me as that person goes by. Every once in a while, there's gonna be somebody you know or somebody you need to talk to, and then it's okay if she gets to meet them. In those situations, I usually walk up, I'll stop maybe 5 or 6 feet short, have Sheila do this greeting for me, I'll reward her, tell her that she's a very good girl, and then I can invite that person up. I don't want Sheila ever pulling to somebody. So 1, if you let her meet every new person, she's going to pull to every new person because she thinks it's rewarding and that's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to meet all these people. So by not allowing her to meet every new person, you're setting her up to have more of a calm and confident dog, and one that focuses on you when people approach versus getting distracted with every new person. And the second part of this is when we meet new people, it's harder to correct our dog. For some reason, us as humans, we just don't want to correct our dog in front of people. So then Sheila gets away with pulling maybe the last 6 feet, or she's jumping up on somebody. Or what you're gonna find is she'll start to jump up on somebody and you'll go to correct her and they'll say, oh no, it's okay, I love dogs. Which, I love dogs too, but I don't love dogs jumping on people. And if I allow that, now she thinks, oh, strangers I can jump on. And then you have a whole different problem. So once again, 90% of the time, just tell people no. It's gonna save you a lot of headache, and then you can just move to the side of the sidewalk or the path and work on some engagement. However, with your family, the expectation is that she comes over and she sits to get that attention. With Sheila, jumping was one of the bigger manners that we really had to work on because she does get so excited. Usually in the mornings is when I would really struggle with it. Her coming out of the crate or coming out of the kennel, she's just very, very excited. And she figured out that okay, I can't jump up from the front, but maybe I can jump up behind. So if she does that, if she jumps up from behind, I'll just kind of bring my heel. I'm never trying to kick her. I don't want to cause any pain, but it is a very quick and abrupt change in my body language to tell her I don't appreciate it. So I'll tell her no, and then I might even fold my arms, and I will wait until she offers that behavior. Once she offers the correct behavior by sitting or laying down, then I can tell her she's a good girl and reward her for that. Huh, you're a good girl. Okay, so moving on, we have our mealtime manners. So anytime I feed Sheila, I'll just usually shake that bowl and she'll sit down if she's standing. But I expect her to hold an automatic sit-stay. So I don't need to tell her stay, I just need her to stay planted. So even if she's in a down like that, we can just set the food bowl down. However, if I put her, come here. So I shake that bowl, she plants. If she breaks, if she comes up now, I'm taking that food bowl away. And I will do this as many times as it takes. So she's looking at me, okay, good girl, and then I can allow her to go and eat. So we feed her twice a day, 6 and 6, and I'm giving her about half a cup each meal right now. Oh, that's a good girl, huh? Now, I don't make it a regular thing to take away her food. I would hate it if somebody did that to me. However, I can ask for little check-ins now and then. Okay, good girl. Okay. Instead, I would much rather spend time maybe petting her, or I'll throw treats in her food bowl just to make it a positive experience, that it's a good thing that I'm here. It's not something to worry about or to get tense or even guard. We don't want any resource guarding, which Sheila has never demonstrated that with us. She's very, very good about us being around her while she eats or around her things. And I just want to make it, once again, a positive experience. Good girl. This goes hand in hand with like her handling. I never want her to tense up or I don't even want to say aggressive, but I don't want her thinking she can mouth or nip at me while I'm handling her, or think that she can throw a temper tantrum and get out of whatever we're doing. So we've spent a lot of time handling her, making sure that she's comfortable being held. Good girl. Me checking her ears, which doodles are very prone to ear infections, so we spend a lot of time doing that. Checking her teeth, which she's good girl. Once again, we put her in a lot of uncomfortable positions or situations. Good girl. And then I reward her when she allows me to do it. So checking her teeth is one of her least favorites. But handling her paws, making sure that we're clipping nails, brushing her, giving her baths, blow drying, all of that, grooming, because being a doodle, she's going to need to be groomed quite often. So we want to make sure that she's comfortable being handled. And so if she does throw a temper tantrum, like if I was clipping her nails and she started pulling that paw away, I might stop clipping, but I'm not going to let go of her paw. I'm going to wait until she's calm. Then I'll go back to clipping. Once I'm done, seeing if she's doing this, no. I'll correct her. Go back to handling her paw. She doesn't get a no mouth on me. And I'm not going to let it go just because she's throwing a temper tantrum. Once she's calm, then I'll let her go, or I might adjust her so that she's a little bit more comfortable. Good girl. And then I will reward her when she shows that she can be calm and she can be under control. But these treats aren't breaking up very good, are they? Good girl. But she's not allowed to mouth on me at all. So that putting her teeth on my hand, she wasn't biting me, she wasn't being, mean by any means, but she also wasn't, just didn't want me holding her paw at that moment. Good girl. So if she does that, I'm going to correct her. And I tell her no, close that muzzle, and then wait for her to calm down. And this is the same thing that I would do if I was just petting her, or if she came over and wanted to bite my shoelaces or a pant leg. I would tell her no, close her muzzle, and then remove my hands. Wait for her to show that she's calm, then I can go back to petting her again. If she does it a second time, I'll be a little bit more firm, no. And then I'll remove my hands. Maybe I'll even stand up, remove myself from her for just a few seconds, make sure that she's in control, and then I can go back to petting her. She doesn't get to demand attention, and she doesn't get to chew on my hands, my shoelaces, or anything that's not hers. If she continued to try and chew on me, then I might give her something to chew on. Okay, good girl. So that way I can redirect her to something that she can be successful with. So Sheila loves to play. It's very, very fun to play with her. And this is when I work on the drop it command. So I just incorporate myself into her play. Sheila. Oh, that's a good girl. And if she offers that behavior, good girl, good girl. Okay. I love it. However, when I need her to drop it and she doesn't offer it, Sheila, drop it. Good girl, good girl. Okay, I'll say her name. There's a brief pause and I'll say drop it, and I expect her to physically let go of it. If she didn't, I would tell her no and then remove it. Sheila. Oh, you dropped your toy all the way over there this time. Come here. Good girl, drop it. Good dog, good dog. Okay, so I'll tell her good or good girl when I take it, and then okay when I throw it again. So the best way to work on this command, the drop it command, is just to incorporate yourself into her play. Good girl. Sheila, drop it. Good dog. Good girl. Okay, good girl. So like I said, she loves to play. And you'll notice, once again, that toy is the reward. So I always throw the toy again versus giving her a treat. Because once I pull out the treats, she will lose interest in that toy and just want the food, which that diminishes our toy drive, and we don't want that to happen. We want to keep this toy drive high. It's a great way to exercise her, as well as just kind of release some of that mental buildup throughout the day. Sheila, drop it. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Once again, if she didn't release it, then there's a couple different ways that I can take it from her. One, I can hold both sides and work my knuckles in, so it's almost pinching her lips against her canines, and she'll spit it out. Or the easier way for me is just to go right over the top of her muzzle, and with my thumb and finger, I'll just push those lips in, and it's like a little eject button. So it's, come here, just, I know you weren't doing anything wrong. We're just going to show. So I can come right over the top, and then she'll just open her mouth. Good girl. Good girl. I know you didn't do anything wrong, huh? Okay, good girl. Okay. I believe that's all of our manners. And so we are going to move on to her obedience commands now. So I'm going to slide her bed out, and we'll start with place and crate. Hi. So place is once again the first command that we'll start with, and this is my favorite command. Sheila, come here. So I'm going to get her off for a second. Place. So when I send Sheila to her place, I don't care what position she's in. Good girl. As long as all four paws are on the bed. I'll also tell her good when she goes on and give her a treat when she goes on. Now this is another automatic stay. So I don't have to tell her to stay. She just knows that's what she's expected to do. I don't care what position she's in. She can stand up, she can turn around, she can lay down. She just cannot leave the bed. And as I implement new and more distractions, I will reinforce, good girl, her staying on that bed. And I always reinforce calm behaviors because I want this to be a command where she settles. Huh, good girl. Now the more intense the distraction is, the more I'll reinforce her. Whereas if it's just me and her in here, it's quiet, maybe I'm doing the dishes, I'm not gonna reinforce the behavior near as often. So it might be every 30 seconds to a minute, whereas if my 4 kids are here and we've got a lot of chaos going on, it might be every 10 seconds or 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, good girl, oh, good girl. But I want her to think she is gonna get far more treats by staying on that bed than if she breaks, if she comes off. Because when she does break, I'll tell her no and send her back. And then I'm going to wait for her to show that she's in control before I give her a reward, even when I send her back. So now let's try and, okay, good girl. Place. We're going to try and add a little bit harder distraction. I'm going to walk outside and leave her field of view, and we'll make sure that she stays. So we try and add as many of what we call the 3Ds as possible. So that's distance, duration, and distraction. Okay. Good girl. So I love place. I think this is like one of the most useful commands because it's something that you can do just to get her maybe out from under your feet. So I taught my dogs when the doorbell rings, we go to our place. So it's a place for them to settle down. They don't get to rush the door. That takes a lot of practice, a lot of consistency, but it's something to work towards. Maybe you're bringing in groceries and it's like, I need you out of the way. Or you're cooking, go to your place. And it's just an area where they can be successful and they're not in the way. Okay, good girl. When I say okay, no treats for coming off. The release is the reward, but I'll still maybe give her some pets or praise or anything like that. Now the crate command is very similar. So I'll tell Sheila, come here, crate. So I'm just going to point, tell her crate. When she goes in, she gets the treat, not when she comes out. Okay, good girl. Sheila, crate. So here, if she hesitates, good girl. Notice I didn't repeat myself. I told her, well, I just stepped closer and kept my hand out. Okay, good girl. Having the bed this close, she's trying to guess and train herself. Sheila, crate. Good girl. Notice I'm not having her stay near as long. Okay, good girl. And that's because if I'm going to do a longer stay in the crate, I'm going to close the door. I'm not going to leave it open. So it's a lot shorter of a stay. Sheila, come here. Let's try and get some distance. Crate. Good girl. Okay. Now, if she ever hesitates and doesn't want to go in, I might just simply tap on the top, adjust my body language, help her succeed. When you're introducing her to a new crate, okay, good girl. Maybe she seems a little hesitant. You can take a treat. I don't want to throw it in there, but I will stick my hand in the crate so that she follows and then reward her once she turns around. Okay, good girl. Throwing treats in the crate is like my last ditch effort to help her go in. We are far, far past that. She should not need that. I don't want to bribe her, but I will reward her for going in. Oh, good girl. Okay, so now our hand signals. We have sit, which is a scoop over the nose. Down, I take my hand flat and off to the side. Good girl. And then stay is a stop sign. She has both. No, sit, down, stay. Notice she broke, so I just quickly told her no and then had her do it again. So it's not a big deal. It's going to happen. We just want to help her succeed. Okay, good girl. So we have both a sit and a down stay. Sheila, sit, stay. Okay, good girl. Now if she were to lay down while in that sit stay, I'm fine with that. However, if I put her in a down stay, down, stay, then she's not allowed to come up. She comes up even into a sit, that's a break. I tell her no, and we reset. Add a little distraction here, throw some treats on the ground. course, we got Scotty in the background making some noise. He's our newest dog, and he does not love the crate. Okay, good girl. So the sit and down stays are going to be a shorter stay because they are position specific. Whereas like a place, she can get up, she can move around, she just has to stay within that boundary. So because she has to stay laying down or staying in a sit, we do keep those a little bit shorter. The hardest distraction to overcome is walking around your dog because they want to watch, and so that head will keep moving and then it causes them to pop up. So that one we're still working on, but she is doing really, really well. Now, when we are adding new distractions or working on improving behaviors, stay. If she breaks once or twice, it's no big deal. We'll tell her no and reset. However, if she breaks a third time, whatever we're doing is too hard. And so I need to maybe take a step back and make sure that we get a successful rep so that she doesn't get frustrated and I don't get frustrated. Okay, good girl. So even if that means that I need to break whatever we're doing down to the simplest behavior. So let's say that I had her in a down stay, down, or even this, down. Good girl. Let's say that I had her in a down stay and she kept breaking at 15 seconds. Okay, now let's maybe give her a 5-second stay and reward her. Or maybe she's struggling to stay at all. I might get right down at her level, have her stay. Okay, good girl. Do really brief, reward her just to get that positive, and then we can either stop there and say, okay, tomorrow we're going to really work on this and build it back up. Or if we were just starting and she just has all this energy, then I might immediately start to build her back up. But notice, like if she hesitates with that down, I could just simply get a little bit lower, adjust my body language to help her succeed. Good girl, huh? Okay. So now the last command in this section, let's see, right there, pull out some ham, some good stuff, because I'm going to set her up and make things a little bit more difficult. This command is our leave it command. So leave it means leave it alone. Don't touch it, don't sniff it, back away. Okay? So she never gets to go and get it. But we often practice with using treats, so something that she's normally allowed to eat. And when I do that, so I'm making it a lot harder, I'm going to use a high value reward, something like this ham. So she thinks, well, if I leave that alone, I'm going to get something way better in return. Okay, so I am going to take a hold of her leash because I have been letting her eat a few treats off the ground. And now I'm going to throw a treat on the ground and tell her to leave it. I'm going to find a big one. So if I drop this, I'm going to tell her, well, let's get a little closer. Leave it. Nope. So here, notice, good girl. She kind of hesitated and almost went back to it. So I gave her a little pressure on the leash, which is also exactly what I would do if we were on a walk and there was something dead or something gross. I'd tell her, leave it. Might give her a little leash pressure, and then good girl. Watch, leave it. Oh, good girl. Yeah, that's right there. There you go, sister. Now I will continue to reward her as she continues to leave this alone. I'm going to move it over here. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. Notice now, good girl, we're almost going to give it like a wide berth. Huh. Good girl. Good girl. So now, maybe we'll make it a little bit harder. Put a few there. Sheila. Good girl. And see how easy I can call her off. The hardest part of this command is when I go to clean it up. So maybe you're in the kitchen, you drop something that you were cooking, you don't want her to get, you tell her leave it. I would reward her a time or two. And then when I go to pick it up, oh, good girl, good girl. That's what we want. Okay, good girl. So leave it. Sometimes you're going to have to be really quick and almost step in front of her, pop that leash, because there's things that smell really, really good, or things that she's used to eating, like that, treats. That's kind of a tricky one, but we're working on generalizing that command and helping her understand that no matter what it is, If I tell her to leave it, she has to leave it alone. So, okay, that's our commands. So now I am going to just adjust the camera angle so we can access a little bit more of our room, and we're going to do the leash work. So we'll start with her heel, and then we'll talk about what to do if she starts pulling, engagement, her long lead walk, and we'll end with her recall. Heel. So we're going to talk about her heel first. The heel, my expectations are that she stays on my left side. She's right here by my knee. Good girl. And for the most part, she's keeping her attention on me. I don't mind if she looks forward a little bit, but as long, good girl, that she keeps checking in with me. Notice I'm also, good dog, good girl, giving her a lot of feedback. So the purpose, good girl, of the heel is to obviously focus on me and get past distractions. So I use this on all of our walks anytime a distraction comes out. So whether there's a jogger or somebody on a bicycle or a stroller, maybe another dog, at that moment I'll reel her in, tell her heel, and I expect her to focus on me. I'll also use this type of walk when we're going through stores or through crowded areas. Like you saw in some of the videos, we went through the farmer's market and the fair and the sidewalk sales. All of that we worked on our heel, and so she was ignoring the people around and focusing on me. Now, this command or this behavior is a big one. It's also very relationship based, so this one's going to take the longest to transition over, and that's because she has to build this relationship of trust with you. Heel. Good girl. So we want to take it easy on this behavior. We want to practice it a lot, okay? Or this command, I should say. I don't know why I keep saying behavior. The behavior is for her to be calm and in control while we're walking. But the heel command, we want to practice. So you can practice to start off with in your home. You can go out to the backyard and practice. But for the first week or so, we want to limit distractions. I want it to be calm, and I want very little happening around you. So that way you can focus on this relationship, you can focus on rewarding her and making sure that she understands that you are going to take care of her. Because that's the biggest thing. A distraction happens, you're expecting her to completely ignore a distraction. She needs to trust that you are going to take care of her. So build your relationship and practice, practice, practice. As she's doing well, then we can slowly introduce new and more distractions. So for me, I start out in the house, then I'll go to the backyard, then maybe we'll go to the front yard and we'll go down a house, back a house, down a house, back a house. And then maybe we'll take on the block or maybe the park, and then just gradually implement more and more distractions. So practice a lot, build this relationship, and give her a ton of feedback. Honestly, that is the key to a good heel, is keeping her attention on you. So that's why I basically just am always giving my dog a lot of feedback on the heel, telling her that she's doing the right thing and correcting her when she gets a little distracted. Heel. She is expected to match my pace. So if I slow down, she slows down. Good girl. If I speed up, she speeds up. When I stop, she stops. Good girl. Good girl. Give her feedback, reward her. If she gets distracted, maybe starts to pull a little bit towards a distraction, initially I'm just going to try and get her attention. So I'll do that with like saying her name or maybe some kissy noises. Just, hey, oh, good girl. And then I'll reward her when she focuses back on me. If that doesn't work, if she's still focusing on the distraction, then I will correct her. So I'll say, no, pop, pop. Now, my pops are always up. They're not pulling her back, because I use leash pressure to give her information on which way we're going. So if I want to turn into her, I'm going to give her a little leash pressure back, just like that, to show her that I'm turning this direction. Same thing if I'm going this direction, I'll give her a little leash pressure to show that we're switching directions. So my correction, I don't want to pull her, okay? That is not a correction. A correction is quick and it's pop, pop. No, pop, pop. The whole purpose is to regain her attention to then help change the behavior. If she turns and looks at you, I'll tell her, good girl, maybe take a step or two, and then reward her. If it doesn't work, I will do it one more time. So no, pop, pop, doesn't work. No, pop, pop. I will get a little bit more firm. If that doesn't work, then I'm coming to a complete stop and I will correct her again. Pop. And I want her to put her focus back on me. Once she shows that she's focusing, then we can start to walk again. But if she goes back to pulling, I'm going to come to another complete stop, pop that leash, do a 180, and walk the other direction in a very quick pace. And now I'm going to almost zigzag with her and step into her to cut her off. And now my body language is interrupting hers so that she starts to understand, oh, I need to pay attention, otherwise I'm going to get popped again. And then randomly I'll come to a stop, pop that leash, wait for her to sit. Good girl, heel. And we can continue on our way. But if she goes back to pulling to that distraction, I'm going to turn around and walk away again. She never gets to approach a distraction that she's pulling towards. And if you let her greet other people on leash or other dogs on leash, she's going to think that it's appropriate to try and get towards those people or those dogs. So as I mentioned earlier, 90% of the time, I don't allow other people to meet my dog while we're on leash. With dogs meeting her on leash, I'm like 99% of the time. I never want my dog just to approach another dog head on while we're walking. So if I can, I'll always put myself between her and the other dog or between her and the distraction, and I'm just going to fixate on her and, oh, good girl, and we're just going to get past it. So that's the heel, and that's what to do if she's pulling. Now there's going to come a time where you encounter a distraction and Sheila gets reactive. So she can be more of a vocal dog, like she likes to sing the song of her people. However, she's not overly reactive. She's done really, really well with other distractions. However, because we're throwing her into a new environment, she's going to be under stress. So especially in this first couple weeks, she may get reactive. So that might be the first time you're on a walk and she sees another dog. Or, she could see a squirrel, she could see anything. Like, there's so many different things that could cause your dog to become reactive. And that reactivity, come here, can manifest itself in a couple different ways. One, she might start barking and want to pull towards something. So she's just like hyper fixating on that thing and she just wants to get there, and so she's no longer listening to you. We call it she's in the red zone, where she's just fixated on that distraction. Or it could be a fear-based reaction where she's like, get me out of here, and starts running the other direction. So trying to walk or to heel in this situation isn't going to be that productive. So instead, I'm going to quickly get some distance away from that distraction. So if it's head on, I might just move to the side. And even if that distance is just 5 feet off the sidewalk, or whether it's 25 feet the other direction, I'm going to quickly move and I'm going to be like, Sheila, come on, hey, get her back.